Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw for the bantamweight title. This is one where I said I was leaning favorites, and I think I'm leaning dog. I've gone back and forth on this fight so many fucking times. But man, I always used to say this, and if you had to build a fighter from the ground up and like give him all the skills that he needed, he would end up looking a lot like TJ Dillashaw. He is a very, very talented kickboxer. He has power in his hands, as evidenced by his Cody knockout, right? Like, he beat the fuck out of Renan Barao, who was on like a 9-year fight win streak. Like, he is one of the most well-rounded bantamweights of all time. And I think that he's getting slept on a little bit in this matchup against Sterling because of Sterling's success over Jan. I don't know that people are looking at this like strategically, or if they're looking at how impressive the win over Jan was. But I think that for Sterling to get to the back and do what he did to Petr Yan, to TJ Dillashaw, is going to be very, very complicated. And I think that when things are on the feet, TJ just has more tools in the toolbox in the striking department. I think he moves better. I think he disguises his strikes better. I think he's much more fluid in terms of how he switches stances, covers distance, sets up the range. It's not that Sterling's bad. I just think he's a little more stiff, right? And I think that he reaches out with things like just like more simple combinations, and his kicks are coming straight up the middle, which is all well and good. That's all good. But I just think that when you look at how Dillashaw moves on the feet, he moves better. And I think he throws more. He throws combinations. He's always letting more than like 2 or 3 strikes fly at a time, and he's giving you a bunch of different looks. Guys, I don't care about the cheat. I do care about it, right? But in terms of like looking at this matchup, TJ Dillashaw is a bad motherfucker. And he can wrestle, right? And I also think a lot of people look at like what Sterling did to Sandhagen, right? And you got to consider that aspect too. Like, what if he does go out and just fucking put it on TJ Dillashaw? Sterling's jiu-jitsu is fucking top notch. I just think it's going to be hard for him to get to the takedowns on Dillashaw and get to top position. I think top position is so important, and we're going to talk about it in the next fight. But I think that the person more likely to end up on top in the wrestling situations in this particular fight is TJ Dillashaw. TJ can just wrestle, man. He can wrestle, and his striking, again, it's a mixed martial arts fight, and I think that his striking and his creativity is in that department, and his like technical prowess in that department opens up more opportunities for him to get the fight to the ground. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to sleep on Sterling either. I think Sterling is fucking amazing. But I think stylistically, this is just a favorable matchup for TJ Dillashaw. And I'm going with the dog, right? I think if I'm betting money this weekend, I'm probably betting it on TJ Dillashaw, considering the odds and just the fact that I think I think he matches up favorably against Aljamain, especially on the feet, and how the combinations on the feet are going to open things up for him to get the fight to the ground. Like I said, I favor TJ on the feet, but I also like the fact that he's most likely to end up in top position, man. I think that's so important, and we're going to get into that now, breaking down Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev.